Hi, Esti Martinez. Hi, Dora. Hi, Alice. Alexis. Hola, hola. I already picked up my package. I forgot to tell you guys. I picked up my package on Friday. So I'm going to turn it in. I'm going to turn it in. Porque la que puede, puede. Ay, good morning, Scarlett. ¿Cómo amanecieron, jefa? ¿Cómo amanecieron? Mama Testa, good morning. Good morning. Hoochie, where are you, Hoochie? Let's go, Hoochie. Vámonos. Me tengo que pintar mi pelo black, ladies. Me lo hice straight y mira cómo se me mira mi hair bien weird. Le hablé a la Hoochie de Ana, pero Ana anda busy, busy. Ana, cuando trae cheque, no la molesten a mi girlfriend. Déjenla. Ella anda ocupada. Ella tiene que pagar sus bills y luego, ahí si le sobra, vamos al café. Voy a ponerle de campaign manager a la Ana. Good morning, Malia Chongos. Tengo security para la campaign. Good, good, good job, Mama Testa. Lo bueno que tenemos. So I'm here. I'm going to take you off for a cruise. I'm going to show you all where I used to live. La soprano users and check day. See. Wine lady, good morning. How are you, beautiful lady? Well, all my ladies are beautiful ladies. So good morning to all my silent viewers. Good morning. Up and early, had to go to the doctor for my checkup, 4-month checkup. So they slammed me with a they slammed me with a colonoscopy, a mammogram, a pap smear, blood work, urine test, todo el kidding caboodle. I got it all. Yes, páseme. I want to see. Yeah, yes, páseme. I want to see again. Ubers and check. Sí, sí, mi Ana, pobre mi Ana. Y le dije, vámonos para el bingo, Ana. Dijo que estaba busy la Juchi, so déjenla. No la molesten ahí ahorita. Ella anda pagando sus bills. Porque no quiero que lo ande batallando, que no tiene para la luz, que no tiene para el agua, que no tiene para la renta. Primero los biles y luego lo demás. So, she's learning. Ahí la llevamos. So, I'm going to show you where I used to live before I bought my house. And the other day I ran into one of my neighbors and she's like, Velda, you lost a lot of weight. And I'm saying, I lost some weight. I'm still trying. And she's like, well, I miss you, neighbor. And like, oh, me neighbor. I so wanted to buy that house so bad. But my renter at that time, my landlord, she didn't want to sell. And then she wanted to sell, but she was asking for too much. And this was in 2013. This had nothing to do with COVID, okay, ladies? But so I actually took a me vale madre dolor pill last night, and I actually woke up pretty good, no pain. So I'm driving you guys towards where I used to live. This was our favorite little store. Sometimes we come in here and the guy is like, oh my God, the girls are so big already, like when they were little. From 2013 to, not 2013, from 2004 to 2013, I lived in this house. So let me show you guys. And my landlord, it's this beige house right here. If y'all can see that beige house right there. We planted, oh, they took down my little palm tree that I had. Wow, I didn't know they had taken down the palm tree. It was there not too long ago. Me regaña Miss Velda y no me presta. I lived there. I'm going to show you where I lived before that house. I lived in that house from 2013 to from 2004, January 2004 to no mentiras, January 2005. January 2005. 8 years. 8 years to I think it was July or August of 2013 when we finally moved into my home, my brand new home. It's a brand new home. This is where I used to live growing up with my parents when we were little. We used to live here. Let me show you guys. This area is owned by a big family, and they have a big mess. I don't know if it pertains to the city or the county, but it's very ugly. When I was little, I used to live here. We lived in this house where this white truck is first. Oh my goodness, things have changed back here. We used to live right there where that blue lona is, that house, that gray house. And then we lived right here in this brick home that's behind this private fence. We had horses, we had cows, we had the whole kit and caboodle. Yes, and the peacocks, lots of memories. There was a teacher that lived here, Miss Chavez. They had horses. So it's interesting to see the rundown conditions of this city because of certain people that are in our commissioners' seats and mayoral seats. So I want to buy an area I've been looking at, and I want to invest, and I want to build a duplex. I want to build a duplex because I'll build a duplex and I know that I'll be making money from renting it, and that's going to be a steady income. So in Mercedes, there's a lot of the areas here that get flooded. I don't know why they would. This is a main road. I don't know why they would put speed bumps here. But anyways, those are the projects, the Merced homes. So we lived on one side of town. We lived on the south side of town. Then my parents bought their house on the north side of town. And so when I lived when my kids were growing up, that we lived in the projects. I'm going to show you all where the projects are. And they have changed a lot, because what a lot of people don't understand and don't realize is that the projects um, are, how can I tell you? It's paid by HUD. The, what is it? Let me, hold on. I'm going to tell you what HUD is. U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. So, a lot of these projects get funded by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And so, in other words, they're like Section 8, like low income housing, and they get funded. So, living in the projects, I qualified for low income because I was low income, and my kids grew up, and I'm going to show you all where my kids grew up. Right here, this street, right here where that gray truck is coming from, if y'all can see, that street gets all flooded. So the houses around that street, they get flooded. It's not a good place to live. This orange building right here used to be a tortilleria, and they would sell barbacoa. It was really nice. So, oops, yellow light. It wasn't red, it wasn't red. Right here, this house right here, this blue one, we lived right there, that blue house, back in the 70s, late 70s. And it's so crazy because Ricky lived on the same street. This house right here, this gray house right there, that gray house right there, that property, not the house, the property used to be Ricky's grandpa's, where they lived in their little house. So all these houses are for sale. All these properties are for sale. So I want to buy one and build a duplex. There goes one of my classmates. So I'm going to show you where I lived when I first got with Ricky, when we first started living together. I don't know why they don't fix the streets. See, uh, the main thing here in Hidalgo County, what the people in office want are taxes, the profit they're going to make from the taxes. So their main concern is building rooftops. They want rooftops, 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 and they're building houses all over the place. Meanwhile, our streets are in not very good conditions. So I'm going to show you where I lived. I lived in the projects. I'm not embarrassed to say. I do not forget where I came from, where I am now. So did I do better in life? Hell yeah, I did. So when I first started dating Ricky, I used to live in these apartments. So these apartments now, I used to live in the second one, 106, as y'all can see right there. I used to live right there. 106, 106, 106. That's a school, and that school was given to a nonprofit, Rio Grande Valley Livestock Shows. So I lived there when I started dating Ricky. And then I moved over here to the other side. As you all can see, I did a turnaround. And I lived right here. Oh, and you would never see that junk outside my house. I used to live there. And then I moved from there. I rented a house on mile 1.5 east, 1.5 east, and it was a small little greenhouse. I'm not gonna go over there because I'm in town right now, so I'm not gonna go that way right now. But then Ricky and I got separated, and I came to live in these projects. And these projects are really messed up. When I lived here, these projects were not this way. But see, this is what happens. Look at the conditions of these homes. Look at this. Look at the condition of these homes. This guy picks up trash and brings it and puts it all there, like a dump site. So I used to live here, and this one. I used to live right there. That's the mailbox Ricky broke when he came one time. So they built this dome here. We have a dome. They built this dome right here. And it is not very good. It's supposed to be a walking trail. And it's the safe room, community recreation. This is where they have the Boys and Girls Club. We paid for this to be built. And we were supposed to have lights installed, but they haven't. There's a park there. Look at the grass. Look at the grass. So this area is where my kids grew up. We were here, and it was so crazy, ladies, because we were here, and then Ricky and I got back together in 2003. We got back together, and we left to Battle Creek, Michigan. We were in Battle Creek, Michigan for, I'm going to say, for a few months. I got with Ricky in December, Christmas Eve of 2013. We moved to Battle Creek, Michigan in April of 2004. Then from 2004, we moved to that house I showed you guys first, where I lived for 8 years. And then from that house, look at this deplorable conditions, these places. I don't know how people can live there. Wow. It's crazy. But it is what it is. 37 people watching and 12 likes. So this is my friend. Where did he go? He was in a wheelchair. I don't know where he went. But I grew up in this area with my kid. My kids grew up, not me. I was already. For sale, for sale, for sale. So, yeah. This property right here, as y'all can see that property, I'm going to tell you a little bit something about this property. And if you all know politics, y'all will pay attention to what I'm going to say. This property used to be the projects. It used to be the Retama. There was about 100 apartments here. So this man came, Dr. Roland Arriola, and if y'all can Google it, y'all will find out. Dr. Rolando Arriola is the owner of Texas Valley Community Foundations. And this property was sold to him for $10. Okay, $10. So we made a big deal about it. We made a big deal about the property given to him for $10 because he was supposed to build a school or something like that. But anyways, it didn't get built, and he sold. It was 12.8 acres. He sold 4.3 acres to move its storage. As a matter of fact, this storage place, these businesses are not even supposed to be here because that man owes money to the city and it hasn't been paid. Anyways, we're not going to tear down the small businesses because, small businesses, they're struggling too. But in 2015, between 15 and 18, we were bringing up all these wrongdoings in the city of Mercedes. And if y'all heard me, I said we, because it was several of us advocating for our taxpayers here in the city of Mercedes. And from all of that, my uncle, Juan Molina, was forced to resign as the city attorney for the city of Mercedes. See, a lot of people don't like that I'm involved in politics and how I expose stuff, or how I was with a group of advocates exposing the wrongdoings that were going on. So here we displaced 100 families. We took people out of their apartments. Mind you, the government, HUD, had given the Retama property, the projects, thousands and thousands and thousands, maybe millions of dollars. And we had put new windows, new screens, new appliances, new doors to all the apartments, almost 100 apartments here. And the HUD, guess where the money comes from? Taxpayers. And we displaced over 100 families for Mr. Arriola to make profit. Porque no, a mí no me la daban for $10, Ana. You needed to be Mr. Arriola. So Mr. Arriola supposedly had this business, and let me show you guys. So during our tenure, when we were exposing and advocating for our taxpayers, they got rid of our EDC. What was it? The Economic Development Corporation. Look at all these businesses. They're all closed. Look, there's nothing there. They're all closed. Did you see here Texas Valley Community Foundations? So this building is signed on to Dr. Arriola. But look at the building. Look at the building. There is no one here. Nothing. It was Polytechnical Institute. Those are the apartments. Look at the apartments. So we displaced all the families. Look at the conditions that these apartments are in. I would love to be a millionaire and buy that property to put moms who are struggling, single moms who are struggling to make ends meet. I would love to be a millionaire to fix these apartments We grew up here, ladies. I grew up here. Back in 1976, 77, when my mom and my dad lived across the street, there was 100 families living in these apartments, low-income families. There was a park. There was a basketball court that we would come and play at. It was a Hidalgo County Head Start program. Lots of memories here, Mercedes. Lots of memories. And look at this now. Look at this. Look at this. Nothing. No one. It's sad. It's sad because we gave this property to this man for $10, and he could have paid even more. But all they needed was a paper stating that he had given $10 just to put it in, register it. He could have given up to $10,000. We will never know. We will never know. But we know what, you know what? We exposed him. And he is no longer in here. Hernan Gonzalez is gone. The city manager, Velda Garcia, is gone. The chief of police, Olga Maldonado, is gone. Olga Maldonado had a big interest when I was sexually assaulted by Ernesto Flores. Because if she did that case, she was going to become the chief of police for the city of Mercedes. So from 2003, I think it was 2003 to 2020, 2023. No, I think it was 2020. Not even. 2018. 15 years she was the chief of police here, thanks to Velda Garcia. Sadly, I had to be sexually assaulted for someone to finally do something to that man, because he had done it to a lot of other women. I wasn't the only victim. There was a lot of other victims, but no one would come forward. They were afraid. So it took a brave woman like me to come forward to have him prosecuted, found guilty. He pled guilty, and sent to Beaumont Federal Prison for him to stop doing what he was doing to young women and women, because he did it to the daughter of a fire chief. I'm not going to say what city, but he did it to the daughter of a fire chief from one of our local cities. And the father was infuriated when he did that to his daughter. So I am thankful to God, and I'm thankful to my parents that made me a strong woman, the strong woman that I am, because if I wouldn't have said anything, imagine how many more kids, women, young adults, he would have kept doing what he was doing to. So I don't like being here, Mercedes. I really don't. I don't like being here because there's a lot of memories. Some are good and some are bad, but this is my hometown. So I never lived with a stepmom. I never lived with my grandparents. I lived with my mom and my dad. And thankfully, my dad never had children with other women. He took care of us. He provided for us. He worked really hard. And I'm going to do what I need to do. So I'm going to run for mayor 2026 and see where it takes me. Win or lose. Win or lose. Thank you, Anna. Win or lose, I'm still going to advocate for Mercedes. One time there was an individual and he was mocking me that because I was crying, and the reason I was crying was because I didn't think it was fair that he had been arrested for apparently I don't know exactly what happened that time, but apparently he was stalking and harassing a school board member, and they filed charges against him. And because she wasn't connected to the right people, she had him arrested, and he went to court. But then they became good friends, and charges were dismissed. And so I guess that was one of the agreements they made. You don't talk about me, you don't bash on me, and I will dismiss the charges. So a lot of people ask, has he ever been charged? Has he ever been convicted? He has been charged for harassment. He has been convicted. The deal that they made in Willacy County was that he would be charged, but he was given 6 months probation, and if he stopped harassing the person, which was in that time RJ, it was gonna be that the charges that Ophelia's kids had pressed against him would be charged. They would be dismissed. I don't understand why Ophelia's kids had anything to do with that case, but those charges were dismissed under the plea deal that they made. I think that was shady, but that's Willacy County. I don't know how things work over there. All I know is that that DA hasn't been doing her job, and they need to get rid of her. As soon as there's elections, they need to vote against her to get her out of there as soon as possible. There's cases there that just happened recently, and they're going to court. Meanwhile, there's cases from 2016, 2015, more than 10 years old, and they haven't even done anything about those cases. So I don't know what's going on there, but that I find that very, very interesting. Miss Interesting. So anyways, I will let you all go. I already gave you all 33 minutes of my time. I showed you where I lived, where my kids grew up, in the projects, in the ghetto, like some people say. So for us to have that little house where we live now, it's a little house. It's not a mansion, like I've said. I don't brag that it's something big because it's not. But as a single mom, buying my own home, I'm proud of myself. I'm very proud of myself. So I will let you all go. Y'all have a blessed day, and see you later. Velda Garcia, 2026, Mayor, Mercedes, Texas. Thank you, guys.